The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Welcome to Onalaska, Wisconsin, as we get ready for the 10th annual Three Rivers Roleo. Some of the best log rollers in the world are on Onalaska today. Great to have you aboard. I'm John Papadopoulos along with John Hughes. And John, looking at the brackets right now, on the women's side, Ellie Davenport, the #1 ranked woman in the world, won this tournament last year, and she's in position to do it again.
Oh, she certainly is, John, and this young lady looks so calm around here prior to the matches. I had a little word to her. She's turning cartwheels inside, but just before she goes out for the match, she calms down, says it's all business now.
Now, looking at the men's bracket right now, Jamie Fisher, three-time world champion, has looked tremendous so far today.
He's looking tremendous, but he's looking a little older. He's got that big beard, but that's the lumberjack image that he likes to portray. But also this guy, maturity is helping him. Physically very strong, but mentally strong. He's ready to go after these youngsters and try to take the championship.
All right, our first semifinal match when we come back from Onalaska. This is the Three Rivers Roleo on Fox Sports.
Quick Trip, we hit the road early. We've got a lot of ground to cover to make sure you've got fresh bread from our bakery, the freshest milk and ice cream from our dairy, fresh produce. We make this trek every day to make sure your day is everything it should be.
For a limited time, pick up a pound of Nature's Touch butter for $1.99 and a dozen grade A large eggs for just 49 cents.
This is what we do, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Welcome back to Onalaska as we get ready for our first women's semifinal matchup. Ellie Davenport against Abby Heschler. John Papadopoulos. John Hughes with you today. John, the rules of log rolling, pretty simple.
They really are, John. You have a competitor on the other side of that line. That line in the middle, you may not step on or across, and of course you may not touch your opponent. But after that, anything goes, and in an aggressive match, you might see a little water kicking.
All right, we've got one heck of a matchup here. Ellie Davenport, the #1 log roller in the world on the women's side, against Abby Heschler. We're underway. Ellie has won 9, or check it, 7 of the last 9 professional tournaments on the women's side. Pretty amazing stuff. So we're underway. Best out of 5. Ellie in the brighter hat on the far side. Abby a little bit closer. And John, this is a situation here where you've got two extremely skilled rollers, not big and powerful like some others we'll see, but from a skill standpoint, as good as it gets. So this one may take some time.
It certainly might, and this is a running match. That's where they're both facing the same side of the log. And so, you know, these gals are very slight, not super big as you say, so there's not a lot of power, but the important thing is they both like to pitter-patter on top of the log. Now, if it was someone else going against these gals, I would say, you know, the other opponent has to be the aggressor. But for these two, they're going to feel each other out, take their time, just concentrate. Remember, this log, the first one they're on, there's a 1-minute time limit. They're going to just concentrate. And in fact, we've already got through that. That's a quick start.
So we'll take a break. We'll be right back from Lake Onalaska.
We are Stihl, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
And exported to over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why Stihl is #1 in America at stihlusa.com.
We continue from Lake Onalaska. Ellie Davenport, the #1 ranked roller in the world on the women's side, taking on Abby Heschler, 2 of the top 10 ranked women in the world, John. And we talked about this earlier on. These are 2 rollers, not as big, not as strong, but lightning fast, and perhaps two of the more skilled rollers on the women's circuit.
Definitely, John, and that's what we've got to notice here. You'll see with all log rollers, they're concentrating on their opponent's feet. The girls are looking down there. Now, watch their arms, watch their forward hand, the one that's out in front. Kind of if they had a pole out there, that'd be their balancing pole. Watch the other hand. If they start doing whirlwinds, they're losing their balance. But these gals are both in such good control right now. They're down to this next log, a little smaller in diameter, a little quicker. The feet have to be ready to go, but of course the mind directs the feet. So it's all about their fitness, how long they can keep thinking clearly and just stay ahead of their opponent.
Ellie Davenport on your left, again, has won 7 of the last 9 professional women's tournaments, including last year's World Championship. So Ellie rolling at a level we haven't seen in maybe a generation in women's log rolling. She's on your left, but Abby Heschler on your right has been doing this for a decade now, multiple pro wins in her career. She's also a multiple boom run champion as well. So 2 of the best pure athletes on the circuit going at it right now. This is a best of 5. Neither roller has gone down yet. And right now, John, they're kind of measuring each other, kind of like 2 boxers early in a match, feeling each other out.
Yeah, and it's interesting because these girls are so what I call evenly matched, as you just said. You know, people are going to say, well, why do they start on that other log first? Well, there's rules to the game, and we have to have it that way. And so these gals will work down. If they get to the next log, it'll be 12 inches in diameter. I say if they get to it. We're pretty confident they'll be there. Now, remember, the rules of the game. That red line in the middle, they cannot step on or across that line, and of course they cannot touch their opponent. But sometimes you'll see one of these gals take a little bit of a risk, take a boot and drop it down into the water and try to splash water in their opponent's eyes. That is permitted. That's why they wear cap. And there goes Ellie doing a boot there. A little splash, trying to temporarily blind Abby so she can take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, and it's a rhythm thing, too. Once in a while, you'll see a roller splash and just trying to throw their opponent off a little bit. And, again, they're just kind of measuring each other up right now for the most part. This match will pick up in intensity, certainly once they go down another log size. And sometimes when you watch the men, we'll see this later on, John, when the men are rolling, it'll be a different story. They're bigger, they're stronger, but when the women roll, especially women like this that are so skilled and so good, they just kind of feel each other out for a while like we're seeing right now. Nobody's getting really aggressive at this point.
So we've got a train going by behind us on the track, and then we've got jet skis coming through. And, of course, the waves are going to be interfering. I think the judges have called time to be fair to these ladies. It's tough enough when you're going against your opponent, but to have jet ski waves, that makes it just a little intolerable.
All right, so we'll get a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well as we continue from Onalaska.
Kids and water, but what do they do after they've learned to swim? How do we keep them interested in swim lessons if their enthusiasm is waning? Are the adults in your facility looking for something completely different and challenging? Think about adding log rolling to your program. Close friendships develop as rollers are engaged in fun and fitness. Log rolling is an extremely safe activity for your pool, camp, or aquatic facility.
Welcome back to Onalaska. Ellie Davenport, the #1 ranked roller in the world, matching up with Abby Heschler, our first women's semifinal matchup. John Papadopoulos, John Hughes with you on a beautiful day in Onalaska, Wisconsin, on Lake Onalaska, just off the Mississippi. 2 of the more skilled rollers on the women's side. And so far, John, we do not have a fall yet. Best of 5, and now things are going to get interesting.
They certainly are, John. This gold log with the red stripe in the middle, that is 12 inches in diameter, the stick of dynamite. Now, the difference between this and the other logs, number 1, it's smaller. You can see how much quicker it's moving already. A lot more white water. Number 2, there is no time limit. We go now for best out of 5 falls, so these girls are in for a very much an endurance match.
Ellie Davenport on your left. She's a world champion roller, won in Hayward last year. Again, she's won 7 of the last 9 women's tournaments, so she has been on fire of late. Davenport gets Heschler in a little bit of trouble, but both maintaining. Abby Heschler on your right and Ellie on your left.
Sorry, John. Abby had a great recovery. Oh, and
now it looks like Abby Heschler goes down. I believe Ellie's going to get the fall, and John, she's got it.
That's a huge boost for this young lady right out of the top.
So Ellie Davenport gets the first fall of the match, and you look at what happened here, John.
Now, Abby had Ellie going down. Ellie's right foot goes right down into the water, but then she dug hard and got her heels back, and then Abby goes in. That's a great match there. Abby comes up smiling, knowing she could have had that one.
Yeah, really a tremendous job by Ellie Davenport to hang in there. You're watching the Three Rivers Roleo presented by Crick LLC, brought to you by U.S. Foods, Quick Trip, Steel, and Explore Lacrosse. And again, we've said it a couple of times already, John, two of the more skilled rollers on the women's circuit. And now that they're on the smaller log, we're going to see those skills tested to the limit.
We certainly are. Now, you see here, both the ladies were able to get up on stage. Once they're both up on the dock, then the judge starts his watch. I believe it's a 20-second flag, and they're able to both get a breather, so it's even, and then back out onto the log. Now, some of these competitors will have a seconder close by to give them some words of encouragement, give them a little pointer. But the experience of these two, they pretty much know what they've got to do, and now we're getting right back into the action. Remember, a 12-inch log, 12 feet long, and it spins extremely quick in this water.
Ellie Davenport and Abby Heschler, that will be a non-fall. They did not have control, so the judges will get them right back up there again. Again, Ellie Davenport has dominated the women's side for the last 2 years, John. She's the defending world champion. She's won 7 professional tournaments in the last 2 years, which is a remarkable feat. No other female has won more than one during that stretch. So she has been overwhelmingly the top roller on the women's side, and she's up 1-0 right now on Abby Heschler.
Truly, and we asked some of the competitors, what tournament finish are you most proud of? And the first thing she said was the Lumberjack World Championships, because it was the hardest one to achieve, because all the very best in the world are there, and it's on the biggest stage for the game, and all the pressure's there. But there's still a lot of pressure here. We're only in the semifinals, and this is a potential finals match.
So Ellie up 1-0. Ellie on your left right now. Abby Heschler on your right, and here we go. We're coming to you from Lake Onalaska on the waterfront. Our first women's semifinal match. The winner of this match will take on Meredith Ingebrigtsen or Shauna Verstegen. They'll roll next. And here we go. Again, Ellie up 1-0 on your left against Abby Heschler, one of the top women in the world on your right. Ellie in a little bit of trouble, but hangs in there.
A lot of these ladies know that you can be down, but it's how you get back up that makes a difference. And every part of this event, they are fighting each other for control of that log. So you might look like you're going in, but you've got to be tough. Fight, get back in control. Some white water here, arms flailing. Great recovery from both these gals. Ellie gave it a big boot trying to get Abby backwards, and now Abby's got control.
And she's down. Abby Heschler goes down. What a tremendous job making Ellie Davenport down. Great job to hang in there. Abby Heschler was in real trouble, came back, fought, and Davenport goes down.
It looked like Abby was out of control, but she stayed, gutted it out on top, and then you see the big whirlwind of Ellie's arms. She was falling backwards, shoulders back. She didn't have anything left for her. It's one apiece.
So we've got ourselves one heck of a match here. Ellie Davenport, the #1 ranked woman in the world, against Abby Heschler, and we're all tied up at 1. Again, the winner of this match will take on Meredith Ingebrigtsen, who was the world champion 2 years ago, and Shauna Verstegen, perhaps the best women's roller of all time, 4-time world champion. Shauna's won more professional tournaments than any woman in the history of the sport. So we've got another great semifinal matchup coming up. And, John, sometimes you have a tournament like this, and, sometimes somebody who's not as good has a good day. They squeak through, but not really the case today. You look at the 4 women in the semifinals, these two along with Meredith and Shauna, and you look at the 4 men. We've basically got the best in the business making it to the semifinals here today, so we could have some great matchups.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and it's just, a match like this, you actually see the judges pointing out there's a boat going through our area, and as you understand, folks, these competitors against each other make it extremely difficult. That is the sport, but when you have the wake of a boat coming through, there we get to see this little fishing boat. The judges called out no wake, please. He throttled back, he's going to cruise through, and we're going to get our log rollers out there as soon as we can and get on with this match.
That's a slow-moving boat, isn't it? I think they're wondering what's going on. They want to watch the match a little bit and have no idea they're the reason that we're waiting.
Great entertainment here at Onalaska today, and these are the class of the sport with Ellie and Abby out here. Of course, there's many other great competitors coming. The girls are watching the wake. Even though that boat was going very slowly, there are ripples coming across. And as I mentioned, for these logs, it's just a little 12-inch diameter log, and it's sitting very high in the water right there now. And even these ripples that are coming across here are enough to make a difference for that. So we want to make sure each competitor has the best opportunity to do their job. And their job is to stay on that log, fighting against their opponent, not the wake in the water.
Three Rivers Roleo this year, presented by Crick LLC and brought to you in part by U.S. Foods, Quick Trip, Steel, and Explore Lacrosse. John Papadopoulos, John Hughes with you today. And here we go. We're all tied at 1. This is a best-of-5 matchup. Ellie Davenport and Abby Heschler. Ellie on your left, Abby on your near side of the right, and we're underway. Tied at 1.
And John, remembering that we've already been through two earlier bigger logs.
Early, and down goes Abby Heschler. So how about that? A quick fall for Ellie Davenport.
At this stage of the game, we've got to consider their endurance ability, their fitness. Both these girls are very good, but remember, they've already rolled the first and second round to get to this opportunity. You could see Abby was leaning forward there. She got straightened up, but it was like she just ran out of steam at the end and got kicked straight in.
So Ellie Davenport, the defending world champion, and again, she's won 7 professional tournaments in her last 9, which is quite a feat. She's dominated the sport on the women's side the last 2 years, and she's one fall away from making it to the finals here in Onalaska this season. Again, Ellie is the defending Three Rivers Roleo champion, and she's up 2-1 on Abby Heschler. Ellie on your left, Abby on your right. And here we go. Ellie one fall away from a win.
And she looks a little fired up. She was kicking at the log when she got in there to make sure her spikes were going to set.
They'll measure each other out here just a little bit as they fall away from the dock. And Ellie's being very careful here, John, not taking any chances here. She's got the 1 fall lead, so she can just kind of wait and be patient if she has to.
Exactly, looking for an opportunity, which they're both doing. But perhaps Abby needs to be a little more aggressive now. She's definitely saying, okay, I've got to set my time and then go for it.
Once again, our first women's semifinal match underway. Ellie Davenport on your left is up 2-1 on Abby Heschler, and Heschler goes down. So how about that? A quick fall for Ellie Davenport.
At this stage of the game, we've got to consider their endurance ability, their fitness. Both these girls are very good, but remember, they've already rolled the first and second round to get to this opportunity. Again, John, I think it comes back to how fit are we in this game? And Abby just didn't seem to have enough gas left in the tank to fight Ellie on that one.
We continue from Onalaska. Ellie Davenport and Abby Heschler going at it here. A 2-1 lead for Ellie Davenport over Heschler, and these are two of the best rollers on the women's circuit, John. Ellie on your left, Abby on your right, and here we go.
So, John, they've been rolling for quite a bit. Remember, first and second rounds to get to this point. They had 2 logs earlier that were to a time limit, and they didn't have any falls. Now we're on this stick of dynamite, and we've got 2 falls to Ellie, 1 to Abby. Now Abby's got to make some decision, and look at that, a quick fall.
Yeah, some trouble there for Ellie Davenport, and Abby gets right back into this match. We're now tied at 2.
The excitement is building. Remember, all we've said about Ellie and Abby prior to this match about the experience, and Abby just took control of that and heeled her in. Ellie wasn't able to keep up with that quick feet, and a good win there for that fall for Abby. She's looking to try and dominate now. She's got to go for it.
We've got ourselves one heck of a match here, our first women's semifinal match. Ellie Davenport and Abby Heschler tied at 2, and this is a best of 5, so next one to go down is done for the day. The winner of this match will take on Meredith Ingebrigtsen or Shauna Verstegen. And in our men's semifinals coming up, Jamie Fisher, 3-time world champion, takes on Tom Menwasser, and Cassidy Shear against Connor Birdsong. So here we go, tied at 2, Ellie Davenport and Abby Heschler being pulled out, and the winner of the next fall will win this battle.
As I mentioned earlier on in this match, John, this could have been a finals match. These very talented athletes. But now watch, this could happen very quickly. 2-2. Is Abby going to be the aggressor and go after it? Ellie had a second to come and talk to her in that break. Maybe he's given her some points to look for to make a difference. Concentration.
Ellie on your left side, Abby on your right side. A little bit of trouble for Heschler there, but hangs in there. Now Ellie Davenport leaning back, hangs on again. Tied at 2. The winner of this fall will take the match. And they're both being very careful early in this one. This is a situation where neither wants to make a mistake.
Truly. This is for the chance to take the title in the next round, and both these girls have the ability to be in that position and win the whole... Oh!
Down goes Heschler, and how about Ellie Davenport, who has done it again for the second straight year. She's headed to the finals here at the Three Rivers Roleo. Great match. The defending world champion Ellie Davenport takes care of business and defeats Heschler.
Well, it looked like a very easy move right there. I don't know what happened, but maybe the endurance factor came in. There was a little push, a little kick from Ellie, and Abby just couldn't keep up with it. And there's the handshake. Good sportsmanship always from our top athletes.
All right, we'll come back. Meredith Ingebrigtsen takes on Shauna Verstegen when we return. This is the Three Rivers Roleo on Fox Sports.
I was slipping down tailgate singing Willie Nelson songs. You were sleepily smiling, but you always sang along. I was 17, I was 10 feet tall.
Welcome back to Onalaska, Wisconsin. Our second women's semifinal match. Ellie Davenport beats Abby Heschler in the first, and now we've got Meredith Ingebrigtsen and four-time world champion Shauna Verstegen set to battle it out. We had quickness and finesse in our first matchup. This is about power and strength in this one.
Oh, without a doubt. Both these ladies extremely capable, very strong for their size. Pretty savvy, too. They've been around the sport for a while, so this is going to be a great matchup. This is a bucking match. Now, this time, they're facing opposite sides of the logs, looking over their left shoulder. So this is definitely where, as you say, the power is going to come into play. They're both trying to take control of the log away from their opponent, and we may see a little more water kicking out of these two.
Meredith Ingebrigtsen and the hat on the near side, Shauna Verstegen on the far side. Both of them have won world championships. 2 years ago, Meredith Ingebrigtsen won in Hayward. And as I mentioned, Shauna Verstegen has won 4 world titles. And she's on your right. So 2 of the strongest and most powerful rollers on the women's side. And they're going to time out, so we'll take a break. We'll come back from Lake Onalaska on Fox Sports.
We are Steel, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
And exported to over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why steel is #1 in America at steelusa.com.
Welcome back to Lake Onalaska, our second women's semifinal match. Meredith Ingebrigtsen against Shauna Verstegen. Ellie Davenport winning the first one over Abby Heschler. So Ellie will take on the winner of this match right here. And John, We had quickness and finesse in our first women's semifinal. Now we've got power and strength in this one.
Oh, definitely, and very strong-willed ladies right here. These two very determined to get to that finals. And now Meredith, she's won the boom run log roll, the boom run world championship and the log roll world championship all in the same year. So we know that gal's got it. Shauna Verstegen, this gal, 4-time world champion, just an incredible athlete, and they're head-to-head. This is a bucking match. You can see them looking over their left shoulder, focusing on their opponent's feet, looking for the opportunity to make a kick or a pull with the spikes on their shoes and try to put their opponent in.
And Meredith on the near side, Shauna on the far side. And again, Shauna, a 4-time world champion. She's on your right without the hat, and she is arguably, it's always a debate, but she might be the best women's log roller in the history of the sport. She's won more tournaments than any female log roller. And Meredith on the near side might be the best athlete right now. She's a former college hockey player. She was the Wisconsin State Hockey Player of the Year. You mentioned she's a boom run champion. So two tremendous athletes going at it right here. Meredith in the hat on the near side, Shauna Verstegen on the far side. No falls yet. This is a best out of 5 matchup. Down goes Ingebrigtsen. So Shauna Verstegen knocks her down, and Shauna takes the first fall.
So the most important thing to realize is they had already gone through the first log, the white log, 14 inches in diameter. They came down to the blue log, a little smaller, a little quicker. And you can see Meredith just couldn't keep up with the pull that Shauna put on the log there, and she'll put that in the memory banks. Meredith knows now how Shauna's going to try to attack her. She's got to remember that and be definitely on the lookout for it in the next go-round. Now they have time on this log to go yet, but once it's over, they'll get down to the gold log, 12-inch in diameter, and there won't be any time on that. It'll just be best of 5.
So Shauna Verstegen takes a 1-0 lead, and as John just said, a best of 5 matchup right here. Verstegen spins in Meredith, and now they're ready for the second fall. Meredith Ingebrigtsen on your right with the hat on. Shauna Verstegen 1-0 lead on your left. And again, Meredith has some work to do, down 1-0.
Now be listening for the whistle. There it goes. Once they let go of the poles, the judges check to make sure they're both in control. Blow the whistle. Now it's match on.
Verstegen on your left, Meredith Ingebrigtsen on your right, measuring each other out here just a bit. And Shauna Verstegen has a 1-0 lead.
Now, after that first fall, Meredith has got to remember to keep her heel back. And, of course, Shauna will be looking for that in case Meredith gets it too far back. So the strategy is huge. The concentration on each other's feet. They're looking for stationary feet at any moment to be able to pull their opponent in.
1-0. Shauna Verstegen has the lead right now. She's on your left. Meredith Ingebrigtsen, very strong. Both go down, and this one's going to be close. Last one with control wins it. It may even be a draw. And it looks like Shauna Verstegen gets it in a very close fall, John. Verstegen goes up 2-0.
Now we've got to watch very carefully on the replay because it looks like both girls go in at the same time. But as you watch, Shauna on the right is coming back. She still has her feet in action, and Meredith's feet are down in the water. The judges could see that and called it for Shauna. Wow, that's a close one.
No question about it. Shauna wins it, and John, that's why they get paid the big bucks. And we're up here because we got to see it on replay, but those judges called that
in real time.
In real time. That's very impressive.
Exactly. We got slow motion here, so we might be able to see something else, but the ruling has applied. The girls know the rules and how it happens for the judges, and so it's 2 to Shauna. Here we go again. Now be watching the right foot of Meredith on the right-hand side here as she's going in. It looks like her heel may still be on the log as Shauna's right foot is also on the log as she's falling backwards.
Yeah, just barely. Just by a hair. Verstegen hangs on, so Shauna Verstegen up 2-0. She's without the hat on your left, and Meredith Ingebrigtsen in some real trouble on the near side with the hat on. 2-0, Shauna on top. Here we go.
Meredith has got to become the aggressor now. She's got to go after it. She can't sit back and wait. Shauna is too savvy and too strong. If Meredith lets Shauna take the aggressive move, it'll be all over.
Winner of this match will take on Ellie Davenport for the championship next. Shauna Verstegen, a 4-time world champion, on your left, up 2-0 on Meredith Ingridson. Two of the top rollers in the world, both ranked in the top 5, and really, John, for many years that's been the case with both of them. Verstegen, for 2 decades, has rolled as a professional. Meredith, since coming into the pro circuit about 5 or 6 years ago, has been among the best rollers. A little bit of action here, and we're going to get a whistle.
Time in.
We'll go down a log here.
Beg your pardon, yeah, time out. The time expired on the blue log. Now, folks, the gold log. That'll come out 12 inches and... Oh, beg your pardon.
Yeah, I think they're going to let them go back out there. That was a little bit close to the dock is why they called that one.
Okay.
So they're back out there, and again, Verstegen is 1 fall away from winning this match. She's on your left. A little bit of trouble for Meredith, but hangs in there.
So there's a breeze blowing out there just for them to contend with also, and that's actually bringing them back towards the dock a little.
Down goes Shauna
Wow.
Verstegen. So Meredith Ingridson, who John is notorious for coming back and winning matches, she actually 2 years ago had a battle against Davenport for the World Championship, and just last week in Madison faced Davenport again. She was down 2-0, almost came back and won it. So Meredith Ingridson, you ask any pro, maybe among all these women, she's the best mentally at hanging in there, coming back, and she gets a fall.
She proved it there, and she had Shauna on the back step and was able to just keep driving and pulling, so Shauna couldn't catch up. Now, because there was such little time left on that blue log, they are making the change, just to help me out from my earlier call. So the gold log is out, 12-inch diameter, much smaller in diameter, so it turns quicker, but also much smaller in size. Once the girls stand on it, it's going to sink in the water more. So their feet are going to be contending with splash in the water every step of the way.
Well, it's safe to say this may not go much longer.
Truly, it's getting close. 2-1 to Shauna. Now, what's going to happen? Is Shauna going to say, "Okay, I got to take it to her now and get it done," so Meredith doesn't have a chance to get back on top, or is it let's see what happens next? Wait for an opportunity.
Well, two of the bigger, stronger rollers on the circuit, and on this log, once it gets rolling, somebody's going down, I think, fairly quickly.
You can see that log is almost completely under the water now, and once it spins, it even gets lower in the water.
Shauna Verstegen on your left, Meredith Ingridson on your right. Verstegen, a 2-1 lead in a best of 5. Both of them moving quickly, and down goes Shauna Verstegen. How about Meredith Ingridson? Down 2-0. She has tied it at 2. And now, John, for the second consecutive match, we're going to get a 5-fall matchup. How about that?
This was fantastic work from both these gals. See how the log's down in the water there. Meredith took the opportunity. Shauna just couldn't get on. It looked like she might have had a slip on the backside. Yeah, her left toe went down, wouldn't stay hooked, and Meredith takes the win on that one.
So we're tied at 2. The winner of the next fall will take the match. And we said it earlier on, Meredith Ingridson has a tendency, when down, to hang in there and come back, and she's done it here today.
Tenacious young lady, you betcha. This is where the ability to have your mind set and forget about how tired you are. As I mentioned before, these gals have all done a lot of work to get here. This is it. It could go very quickly.
All right, here we go. Tied at 2. Verstegen on your right, Meredith Ingridson on your left. Whistle off, both in some trouble. Hanging in there. Shauna Verstegen not getting too aggressive, measuring off Meredith. And Meredith really doing the same early against Shauna.
You can see Shauna's in very close to the middle line, trying to let Meredith's feet get lower in the water.
Some trouble. Verstegen goes down.
Wow.
Meredith Ingridson remarkably comes back from down 2-0 to knock off Verstegen. What a tremendous effort from Meredith Ingridson.
This is incredible competition. Both these gals giving it their all. Look at this final fall. They were back and forth, and finally Meredith got the pull again, and Shauna just couldn't keep up.
So Meredith Ingridson takes the match. She will square off with Ellie Davenport in our women's final. Men's semifinals next as we continue the Three Rivers Roleo on Fox Sports.
Get your game on at Shenanigans Entertainment Center and Sports Bar with the ultimate indoor paintball experience. Gear up and get out on the course for just $20. Make reservations for a group, party, or special event. Games, food, fun, and now paintball at Shenanigans.
We are Steel, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
And exported to over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why steel is #1 in America at steelusa.com.
Get your game on at Shenanigans Entertainment Center and Sports Bar with the ultimate indoor paintball experience. Gear up and get out on the course for just $20. Make reservations for a group, party, or special event. Games, food, fun, and now paintball at Shenanigans.
Welcome back to Lake Onalaska, the 10th annual Three Rivers Roleo, our first men's semifinal underway. Jamie Fisher in the hat on your right, Tom Mengwasser on the left, and this is truly a case of experience versus youth here. Jamie, a three-time world champion, 2 decades of professional, and Tom Mengwasser, an 18-year-old rookie on your left. Tom came in second place last week in Madison, and he's up there trying to knock off one of the best of all time, Jamie Fisher, who has rolled very well so far today.
Oh, he certainly has. And, you know, from the top of the show, I mentioned how strong this guy is. He's got his feet back. He was one of the quickest in the sport in boom running and log rolling, and he took some time off. He gained a little weight. Now he's back. He's got his foot speed back. He's got a great beard he's sporting there, but he's also got the experience, a very good mental game from this guy. And he's got an air of confidence around him.
And down goes Mengwasser. You can see the concentration. Jamie Fisher locked in, knocks off Mengwasser, and takes a 1-0 lead.
That was a great starting match. And you could see here, it looked like Fisher was going to be all over it, and he was. He pulling, and then the heel work. Thomas just couldn't keep up with him. Very quick back steps from Jamie, and then he just lets himself in. Okay, time to cool off. That's the first one.
And Jamie's got quite a story. He was among the best log rollers on the circuit for a decade. He won 3 world titles, was featured prominently all over the country as a timber sport athlete, and decided 5 years ago to retire. He's got young kids, and a couple of years ago made a decision to come back after several years off. Some injury issues last year, his first year of the comeback, but Jamie's looked tremendous so far this summer. He won in Madison earlier this summer. In fact, he beat Mengwasser in the final, and now he's got him in the semifinals right here. And Jamie Fisher on your left is up 1-0 against Mengwasser.
John, it's incredible to walk through the competitors when these guys are amongst each other. And Jamie has this air of confidence. Oh, very quick move from Tom there. We haven't had a whistle. There's the whistle. Now it's time in. Now they can get back to the action. Remember, this is a bucking match. And in a bucking match, they're both fighting for control of that log.
Down goes Mengwasser again. Jamie Fisher is rolling through this field like a machine so far today. Knocked off Garrick Birdsong, who won this tournament last year in 3 falls. And now he's up 2-0 on Mengwasser.
Mengwasser got his hips low there, and Jamie could tell that he was on the back step, and he just put a little more power in and said, okay, I got control of this, and kept him going. Jamie is absolutely in full control of his own thoughts. His body is so strong, and he's ready to take it. He wants to get into that finals and be the champ.
And I'll tell you what, John, Jamie has had a pretty tough group of guys he's rolled so far today. Shane Burns, second-year pro, is no easy out. He beat him in the first round. He knocked off the defending Three Rivers Roleo champion Garrick Birdsong in the second round, and now he's up 2-0 on Mengwasser. So Jamie right now is looking as good as he has looked perhaps in a long time.
And he doesn't want this match to take long. He's the aggressor. He wants to be the fighter, so he doesn't want to wear himself out. He wants to get it done quickly, and he's going to try to take this third fall as smoothly as possible. And there it is.
He goes, Mengwasser. Tremendous young roller, but no chance against Jamie Fisher today. The 3-time world champion takes care of business, 3-0 over Mengwasser, and he is looking about as good as he's looked maybe since his prime 10 years ago.
Truly, just with the first 2 falls, Jamie had him on the heel, and Jamie just kept pulling. Thomas couldn't keep up, and that's a great match win for Jamie Fisher.
All right, we'll come back. Cassidy Shear and Connor Birdsong, our next men's semifinal matchup. The winner of that match will get Jamie Fisher as we continue the Three Rivers Roleo on Fox Sports.
At Quick Trip, we hit the road early. We've got a lot of ground to cover to make sure you've got fresh bread from our bakery, the freshest milk and ice cream from our dairy, fresh produce. We make this trek every day to make sure your day is everything it should be.
For a limited time, pick up a pound of Nature's Touch butter for $1.99 and a dozen grade A large eggs for just 49 cents.
This is what we do, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Kids and water, but what do they do after they've learned to swim? How do we keep them interested in swim lessons if their enthusiasm is waning? Are the adults in your facility looking for something completely different and challenging? Think about adding log rolling to your program. Close friendships develop as rollers are engaged in fun and fitness. Log rolling is an extremely safe activity for your pool, camp, or aquatic facility.
Welcome back to the Three Rivers Roleo in Onalaska, presented by Crick LLC and brought to us in part by U.S. Foods, Quick Trip, Steel, and Explore Lacrosse. Our second men's semifinal matchup, Cassidy Shear on your left, Connor Birdsong on your right, underway. And Cassidy is known for his rampant splashing, and he's not shy early in this one, and he knocks down Birdsong. Quick fall for Cassidy Shear.
There's a mature head right there. This guy, Cassidy Shear, is in the peak fitness of his life, and he's a mature guy. I think he's about 37 years old, and he said to me this morning, he said, I've been training for everything, and I'm coming out. Look at this aggression. Kicking water right off the bat. 3 boots. Now, this is a running match. They're facing the same way, but Cassidy took the option to go after him. Connor just couldn't handle it.
And, John, there is a science to splashing. Most rollers wildly do it, but some guys like Cassidy Shear, there are maybe 3 or 4 in the entire circuit that can literally splash and aim it. And if you saw on that replay, that's the hard splash hit Birdsong right in the hat and cocked his hat back a little bit. I think that threw him off.
Exactly, and of course, Connor is aware that Cassidy's going to be aggressive, so he's wearing the cap to hopefully be able to dip his head so the bill of the cap covers his eyes. But when it's coming that quick and that much of it, he doesn't have a chance.
And I can tell you right now, Connor Birdsong is not a guy that normally wears a cap when he log rolls. It's not his norm. Some rollers do, he doesn't, and I think you're absolutely right. I think he did it knowing who he was rolling, and it may have backfired on him.
Quite possibly. Now, the beauty of this is these guys are out there. They're standing there face to face, just beyond the judges, and Cassidy's saying, man, is he full of confidence now. I'm ready to go.
Well, we've seen a couple of matches already today where veterans have taken on younger rollers. Jamie Fisher knocking off Mengwasser. Similar situation here. Cassidy Shear in his late 30s. Connor Birdsong, a rookie who did win in Chicago earlier this year. But you've got a teenager who just turned pro, and Connor Birdsong, and Cassidy Shear, who's got a lot of experience, understands the matchups, and really knows what he's doing out there. And we do have an issue right now down near the water in terms of, I'm guessing, John, this is a ruling on something. I didn't see anything specific that jumped out, but there's something going on here, and both rollers are patiently waiting to see what's going on.
This is a tough situation for us, of course. We don't want to speculate. We don't want to call something. It appears that with the rules, once you lose a fall, you're permitted to select the other side of the log. And so this is what Connor has requested so that they can pole out facing the dock. And it may be that Connor's trying to put the sun back into Cassidy.
Connor Birdsong on your left, Cassidy Shear on your right. 1-0, Shear on top. You might be right, John, because when you get a splasher like this, you don't want the sun in your eyes. Down goes Birdsong again. So Cassidy Shear using his best weapon, the splashing technique, and Birdsong right now is helpless against it.
He certainly is. Cassidy's so relaxed. A big smile as he comes up. He knows he's got this under control. They did the turnaround on the log for whatever reason. It may have been selected by the loser of the first fall. Cassidy puts a big kick up, and then all of a sudden, Connor was wrong-footed. Cassie does the pull. The strength of this big, tall man is showing up beautifully. He's going to take this. We're up for a great final if it goes Cassidy's way. But don't count out Connor. He's a very good athlete. He's a track star. This guy is gutsy. He's not going to give up. He won an event earlier this year, beating his brother Garrick, who was the winner here last year. So we're not just going to say it's all Cassidy.
Yeah, Birdsong's one of the better young rollers on this circuit. And, he won in Chicago, one of the more competitive tournaments, but he's in some trouble now against Cassidy Shear.
And the kicking again already, splashing the lens of our camera, but we can still see, and wow.
Down he goes again. Connor Birdsong into the water. Cassidy Shear, a 3-0 victory, so uses the splash technique almost to perfection, and our men's final is set. Jamie Fisher will take on Cassidy Shear, and you see it again, John. Connor Birdsong hasn't seen this a lot and really had very little chance against it.
He's never seen anyone that aggressive as Cassidy has been, and that's just because now Cassidy feels so strong, he's going to take it to everyone. And he's very happy with how that turned out.
Great win for Cassidy Shear. We'll come back as we continue the Three Rivers Roleo on Fox Sports.
Get your game on at Shenanigans Entertainment Center and Sports Bar with the ultimate indoor paintball experience. Gear up and get out on the course for just $20. Make reservations for a group, party, or special event. Games, food, fun, and now paintball at Shenanigans.
Ram Tough is perfect for us at Fishke Motors. We've got some pretty tough customers.
During the summer clearance event, you have 2 ways to pick up a 2017 Ram 1500 Hemi engine quad cab. Lease one for 3 years, 30,000 miles for $1,000 down and $299 a month. Or purchase one with 0% financing for 75 months. One great truck choice. Choose one of 2 ways to save.
Ram and Fishke Motors, getting the job done.
Get your game on at Shenanigans Entertainment Center and Sports Bar with the ultimate indoor paintball experience. Gear up and get out on the course for just $20. Make reservations for a group, party, or special event. Games, food, fun, and now paintball at Shenanigans.
Welcome back to the Three Rivers Roleo in Onalaska, Wisconsin, presented by Crick LLC, brought to you in part by U.S. Foods, Quick Trip, Steel, and Explore Lacrosse. We're ready for our women's final matchup, Ellie Davenport and Meredith Ingebrigtsen. And let's take a look on how these two got here. Shauna Verstegen was up 2-0 and then lost to Meredith Ingebrigtsen, and Ellie Davenport knocking off Abby Heschler. So Davenport, the number 1 ranked woman in the world, will get Meredith Ingebrigtsen, and this will be a rematch of World Championships from 2 years ago when these two faced each other. So
and
once
Meredith
again,
coming back from down 2 falls to win it 3-2. A tremendous gritty action, but this is exactly how she needs to continue into this next match. Ellie Davenport is a fantastic athlete, don't get me wrong. She stays on top of the log. She hasn't had too many gals get real aggressive with her. Meredith did that to Shauna in her semifinal. She's got to continue that now.
All right, we're underway. Our women's final matchup, Ellie Davenport on your left, Meredith Ingebrigtsen on your right, and once again a rematch of the World Championship match from 2 years ago, a match in which Meredith won, and then this past year Ellie took the title, knocking off Emily Christopherson, and right off the bat, Ingebrigtsen goes down. So Ellie Davenport gets the first fall, and she's right back at it, John.
John, that's a 14-inch log. That's the first one they get onto. I did not expect anything to happen that quickly. 14-inch diameter. You could see the foot speed of Ellie there. She could just see Meredith was going on the heel. She said, I'm just going to float up here. You put yourself in. Meredith got down on the front side of the log and couldn't recover. That's a great fall to Ellie.
Yeah, sometimes it's speed or power. That might have been surprise there. I don't think Meredith Ingebrigtsen was quite ready for that so fast. And you're right, I'm shocked that this early in the match on this log, Ellie was able to get a quick fall.
Yeah, it sort of goes against what I expected to happen, because I thought Meredith was going to be the aggressor. Maybe she did try something that I didn't catch there, and Ellie saw it and took advantage of it. But remember, 14-inch diameter, this is a great big log. It's the slowest and the biggest. Well, maybe it's not so slow. But you can see these gals are on there. Now they have a minute time limit on this, and they've been out there for a good 30 seconds already. This won't take long to get through, but are they being so aggressive that we get another fall on this log?
Ellie Davenport on your left. She's up 1-0 on Meredith Ingebrigtsen in a best-of-5 matchup. This is for the Three Rivers Roleo Championship. Ellie Davenport, the defending champ, is 2 falls away from winning it again. And this is a bucking match, which normally favors the bigger, stronger roller, in this case Meredith Ingebrigtsen, but Ellie off to a good start.
He certainly is, and you can see the focus of these competitors on their opponent's feet. They cannot step on or across that red line in the middle, and they cannot touch their opponent. But after that, anything goes, and you may see some aggression with a bit of a kick of some water, as we've seen in the men's matches. And there's time. 1 minute expired on this 14-inch log.
So Ellie gets a fall on the first log of the match, and that's a big one for her. You're watching the Three Rivers Roleo, presented by Crick LLC and brought to you in part by U.S. Foods, Quick Trip, Steel, and Explore Lacrosse. Again, our women's final underway. Ellie Davenport, the #1 ranked woman in the world, you see her right there with the hat on, is up 1-0 on Meredith Ingebrigtsen. And our men's final coming up as well. Jamie Fisher, 3-time world champion, will take on Cassidy Shear for the men's title when this one is done.
Now you can see the face on these gals, total concentration. Remember in the opener I mentioned how Ellie Davenport, she just seems so calm and relaxed. But prior to the match, she said, I'm turning cartwheels inside. But then seconds before the match starts, she says, I say a little prayer, I get my head together, and I'm fully focused on what I have to do. And you can see that right now she feels pretty much in control. She's up 1 fall. She's going to want to continue with that solid thought process, and of course keep those feet absolutely flying.
Well, in terms of speed and quickness, there's nobody like her. Ellie Davenport lightning fast on that log. She's got the 1-0 lead. Now, Meredith, on the other hand, among the strongest rollers physically, and we talked about it earlier, she has a habit of falling behind early and coming back. That's what she did against Shauna Verstegen. She was down 2-0, won 3 in a row. So don't count Meredith out yet. Mentally, maybe the toughest competitor out there.
Oh, truly. And, of course, now that we're going down to the blue log, this is 13-inch in diameter. This is even quicker. So does that lend itself to Ellie, who might have faster feet, or is it, as you say, is it going to make Meredith do her gutsy recovery?
All right. Here we go. Crowd getting into it now. Meredith Ingebrigtsen on your right. Ellie Davenport on your left. Ellie up 1-0 in a best-of-5 matchup underway. Down a log right now. Both very measured. And as you see, watching each other's feet locked in.
These matches are so quick. When the arms start flailing, you should be looking for action. Something's going to happen. White water coming, and then there's going to be someone in the water.
And normally, John, when the windmill gets going and those arms go, that means that roller's in trouble. That's a good sign right there.
Truly,
normally.
Off balance. They've got their shoulders in the wrong position, or their hips in the wrong position, or they're on the front or the back side of the log. There's so many different terms that these gals know about, and they study each other's rolling in practice. They watch them. They watch them in other matches, trying to pick up pointers to know how that roller's going to react if I do this or if I do that. And then it comes down to on the log with your opponent. It's all about the here and the now, and they've got to react instantly to something they see right there.
Ellie Davenport on your left has won 7 of the last 9 women's professional tournaments. She has been dominant in the sport the last 2 years. She's the defending world champion. And Meredith Ingebrigtsen on your right has also been highly competitive. Many top 3 finishes, won a world title 2 years ago. In fact, she beat Ellie to do it. So here we go. Davenport up 1-0. She's on your left. And Meredith Ingebrigtsen is on your right.
And, of course, Meredith losing that first fall might have been the best thing for her, because now she calms her down. She knows she's in a match. She's got to put it into gear and really focus. And it seems that they've both calmed down a little here. We've evened out this 13-inch log. If we get through the time on this, which I believe is 3 minutes, we'll be going to that 12-inch log, and then the water will fly, literally.
Ellie Davenport up 1-0. Again, rolling on your left with a hat on, the pink hat. Meredith Ingebrigtsen on your right. And Meredith, again, we can't say it enough, one of the more focused athletes in this field. She has a habit of coming back after often falling down early in matches. She did it last week in Madison. She did it earlier today. Down 2-0, came back to beat Shauna Verstegen, and now she's down 1-0.
And, of course, this is a bucking match. It's where they're fighting for control of the... Yeah, okay, folks, they're always fighting for control of the log. But in this situation, it allows the more powerful stroke of each athlete to be a dominating effect. And they're both trying to pull that log to have the upper hand. But you can see the arms get flying up a little bit. Oh, recovery nice, and back on the log. Settle down. They're getting a little more action going here. They know they're getting close to the end of time on this log, and if they get to that 12-inch, it's going to be a lot quicker.
Yeah, more aggression right now you're seeing for sure, and I think, John, what you said is the exact reason why. Real trouble here. Down goes Ellie Davenport. So Meredith Ingebrigtsen has tied this thing up at 1. She is something else.
That's very, very strong, determined rolling by both ladies. But Meredith, down 1, she knows she had to gut it out. And they were working so hard. Now, you can see the cameraman in the background. That's very shallow water. The judges were almost ready to call time because we don't want these gals coming off and landing on the bottom. But you could see Meredith got the back kick going, kept control, and Ellie goes in.
And Meredith, a tremendous athlete, was the Wisconsin Hockey Player of the Year, was a college hockey player. And you saw just at the end of that, John, she held tight. She used her strength. She was about to go down. She had one more bit of strength to hang in there, and she takes the second fall. So we're tied at 1. And now they'll continue. Ellie Davenport and Meredith Ingebrigtsen. This is our championship match here at the Three Rivers Roleo.
Now, guess what? We're coming back to the 12-inch log, John. The smallest log is out there now, and these gals are going to determine the match on this little thing. There is no time limit. That last match took a long time and burnt up all the time on the blue log. Now the gold log, no time. This could get into true endurance rolling.
Tied up at 1 apiece, Davenport and Meredith Ingebrigtsen, and you're absolutely right, John. They're going to start cooking right now on that thing. It's going to go much, much faster.
Now it's floating without spinning, but once they spin it, it seems to draw down into the water a little more. So their feet are just about always contending with the water. You can see Meredith, slightly stronger gal, a little more weight on that side, and the log is definitely underwater over there. But as you can see, they're both feeling it out now a little quicker. Okay, let's get it sorted out.
Some trouble, some real trouble for Ingebrigtsen, who goes down, and Ellie Davenport takes the second fall to go up 2-1.
That was picture perfect by Ellie. She was just biding her time there, realizing that Meredith, having done the comeback, might be more aggressive. Ellie was just very comfortable, floating on top of the log. Meredith tried to kick, and Ellie almost went with it. Meredith tried to stop it. Ellie stayed on top, and it's 1 down.
Meredith Ingebrigtsen has beaten Jenny Atkinson, Gretchen Green, and Shauna Verstegen to get here, so 3 of the best rollers in the field, and now she's trying to knock off the #1 roller in the world, Ellie Davenport, and Meredith is down 2-1, so we've seen back and forth match here. Ellie won the first fall early, Meredith comes back with a fall, and now Ellie takes a 2-1 lead.
And each lady, again, once they're both up on the dock, they get 20 seconds rest period to take a drink, maybe towel off, do a little thought process. Okay, what just happened? What do I have to do to correct that or not allow it to happen again? If I made a mistake, okay, it's on me now. If she took it from me, I've got to get that control back. So there's so much going on in their minds, along with the fact that they've had many matches and their fitness comes into play right here.
So underway, 2-1 lead for Ellie Davenport on your left. Ingebrigtsen battling now to hang in this thing on your right. Ellie is the defending Three Rivers Roleo champion, and Ellie Davenport goes down. How about that?
Wow, they gave that to Meredith.
Just when you count her out, John, Meredith Ingebrigtsen hangs in there, and she has tied this thing up at 2 apiece. Incredible.
Gutsy, tenacious, whatever you want to use. The phrases are all good for both of these athletes. And you could see here, Ellie had her left foot go forward over the log more than she wanted. She was on her heel. Meredith took advantage and put her in.
So we're tied at 2. Ellie Davenport right there. Meredith Ingebrigtsen. 2 falls apiece twice now. Meredith has been behind, and she's battled back each time, so we'll see what happens now, tied at 2, and you can't ask for anything more than this. On a beautiful day in Onalaska, The fifth and final fall coming up, and the guess would be, John, on this log, it may not last long.
Truly, that's what we've seen happen so far, and we cannot expect anything different. Both athletes are incredibly talented. We know that. The log is even. It can't get any better for one against the other. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's how the athlete performs. It's what they do that makes a difference in all sports, but in this case, it's the log, the water, and your opponent.
So we're ready to go here. We'll see who our champion will be shortly. Next fall wins it.
Fast action there. Meredith has been very aggressive trying to take it.
Davenport on your left, Meredith Ingebrigtsen on your right. Tied at 2 in a best-of-5 matchup, and both of them, as John just said, aggressive. In a little bit of trouble, and now down goes Davenport. So Meredith Ingebrigtsen has come back and knocked off Ellie Davenport. Your 2017 Three Rivers Roleo champion is Meredith Ingebrigtsen. What a performance.
This young lady has shown that she has the fortuitiveness to stick with it.
And look at that strength. Just incredible. Incredible. Showing some great mental toughness as well. So Meredith Ingebrigtsen takes it. Comes from behind to beat Ellie Davenport. We'll take a break. We'll come back with our men's final. Jamie Fisher and Cassidy Shear when we return. This is the Three Rivers Roleo on Fox Sports.
We are Steel, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
And exported to over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why steel is #1 in America at steelusa.com.
Kids and water, but what do they do after they've learned to swim? How do we keep them interested in swim lessons if their enthusiasm is waning? Are the adults in your facility looking for something completely different and challenging? Think about adding log rolling to your program. Close friendships develop as rollers are engaged in fun and fitness. Log rolling is an extremely safe activity for your pool, camp, or aquatic facility.
Welcome back to the Three Rivers Roleo. Our men's final is set. Jamie Fisher against Cassidy Shear. And John, here's how they got here.
Oh, tremendous matches from both guys, but watch this from Jamie. He was so dominant, so calm, so collected on top. He just stayed with it and just took control of the log. Thomas had nothing for him. Cassidy Shear, this guy, boy, is he fired up this year round. He's in much better shape than he's ever been. Kicking the water. Connor didn't seem to have anything for him. Looked very uncomfortable. And then we get back to the next fall. Cassidy's kicking water again. Now Connor's wearing a hat. He doesn't normally do it. The third match, kicking water again. Such an aggressor. He's probably going to try that again. And then we get to this match, the final.
Well, not messing around early. Jamie Fisher, first fall, knocks in Cassidy Shear. How about that?
And in Cassidy's competition prior to this one, his semi, he was the aggressor, kicking water at Connor all the time and just taking the match to him. And in this, he's tried to do the same thing. He's not going to be able to do that. Jamie's a veteran. This guy is too quick and too strong, and you can see here, he had his bill of his cap down, blocking the water, said, okay, I can handle this, we're in it. Cassidy might want to try a new strategy.
So Jamie Fisher takes the first fall. Jamie, a three-time world champion and among the best in the history of professional log rolling, and he's now 2 falls away from taking the 2017 Three Rivers Roleo. And up to this point, Jamie has carved right through the field. He beat a very good roller, Shane Burns, to get started. He knocked off last year's Three Rivers Roleo champion, Garrick Birdsong, in 3 falls. And then he knocked off Tom Mengwasser as well. So 3 good opponents, and Fisher has been almost unstoppable so far. He's not even losing falls, John.
No, and he looks so confident. He feels, just talking to the guy ahead of the program, he was saying, yeah, I've been training hard, I'm feeling good. And then he walks into a group of log rollers and they all stop to listen.
Yes, they do. No question about it. So here we go. Shear in trouble, and he goes down again. Jamie Fisher, using his experience, that electric quickness, knocks in Shear. So almost in the blink of an eye, Jamie Fisher up 2-0.
That's two very quick falls, and of course Cassidy wasn't kicking water this time. He said, man, I might be in for more of a match, I got to stick with it, but Jamie's foot speed just pulled him in there. That was a very quick one. We're not sure, you can see the smile on his face. This guy's got his lumberjack beard on. He's pretty comfortable, pretty confident, and very relaxed right now.
And you know what, John? He might be the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He is such a good guy. He really is. We talked to him earlier on. He's so humble. He loves doing this. And he's now one fall away from winning the Three Rivers Roleo Championship.
He certainly is, and he's a true historian for the sport, and great. He has a business doing exhibitions all over the country, teaching log rolling, teaching the lumberjack sports, and obviously he's been doing a lot of training.
So Jamie Fisher on your right, one fall away from a win. Cassidy Shear splashing on the left, in some trouble. Shear's on the ropes. Fisher getting aggressive. Fisher trying to knock him off. Cassidy Shear in trouble, stays on for a moment. Great recovery. Now Fisher in trouble himself,
wow.
And he goes down. Jamie Fisher knocked down by Cassidy Shear, and we've got ourselves a match now.
Very interesting. Cassidy said, okay, maybe I need a new strategy. What is that strategy? Get tougher, kick water, be quicker with the feet, balance, stay on top of the log, fight it out. And yeah, Jamie's down. It's 2-1.
And I'll tell you what, Cassidy's got a game face on. We've known him for a while now, and he's a guy who looks about as locked in as we've seen him. You look at his face right now, and really all afternoon he's had that game face on. He came here to compete, and he came here to win. And Cassidy Shear not about to give in quite yet. Jamie Fisher, three-time world champion, is up 2-1 on Cassidy Shear. Our men's final here at the 2017 Three Rivers Roleo. And here we go. Get ready for some action. Neither one of these guys are conservative in their styles. They're going to get after it.
I have to say that Jamie looks more controlled, and Cassidy is all over, but he's an all-over fighter. He's a tough, tall, rangy, strong guy.
Trouble.
Uh-oh.
Down he goes. Cassidy Shear into the water, and Jamie Fisher takes the 2017 Three Rivers Roleo Championship, knocks off Shear, and wins it by the score of 3-1. So Fisher, some trouble, but able to finish off Cassidy Shear for the win.
Apart from the one fall that Cassidy got, Jamie pretty much dominated, and you could see the control of the young man. Well, not so young, but boy, is he fast and in great shape. Here we go for the final fall. Cassidy again with the aggression, kicking water, trying to be in control. Jamie just had the foot speed on him there, and it's proof. Jamie Fisher's back, folks. He's going after it all this year.
Well, he's one of the best of all time, Jamie Fisher, and he is the 2017 Three Rivers Roleo champion. What a great event, and what a great performance from Jamie Fisher here today. We'll come back as we continue from Unalaska on Fox Sports.
At Quick Trip, we hit the road early. We've got a lot of ground to cover to make sure you've got fresh bread from our bakery, the freshest milk and ice cream from our dairy, fresh produce. We make this trek every day to make sure your day is everything it should be.
For a limited time, pick up a pound of Nature's Touch butter for $1.99 and a dozen grade A large eggs for just 49 cents.
This is what we do, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Kids and water, but what do they do after they've learned to swim? How do we keep them interested in swim lessons if their enthusiasm is waning? Are the adults in your facility looking for something completely different and challenging? Think about adding log rolling to your program. Close friendships develop as rollers are engaged in fun and fitness. Log rolling is an extremely safe activity for your pool, camp, or aquatic facility.
Welcome back to the Three Rivers Roleo, presented by Crick LLC and brought to us in part by U.S. Foods, Quick Trip, Steel, and Explore Lacrosse. Our two champions have been crowned: Jamie Fisher for the men, Meredith Ingebrigtsen for the women, and we send it down to John Hughes, who has both of our winners.
Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we'll go with ladies first. Our champion today, Meredith, fantastic comeback in a semifinal match, down 2, and you came back to win that, and then a gutsy effort in the final against Ellie. You got to be feeling pretty happy.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
So, thanks for this great quick answer there. Now, look, you've won the world title and the boom run world title all in the same year back in 15. You're one of the most experienced athletes in this game. How did you come back like you did in both matches today?
Well, I guess it's about how you train. Like just competing and training every day, and training like you're actually competing is the biggest thing. Never giving up in practice, and then just having that mindset. Even though you're down 1 or 2, it's crucial to have that, like, I can come back, I can fight, and I can win. And I think if you have that, you can definitely do it.
Well, you proved it, and you are our true champion today. Thank you very much. And over to Jamie Fisher. Man, that was quite the performance. You dominated all the way through the rounds.
I felt really good, and it's been a long time. I retired a while ago, got back into the sport because of my kids, and this is the first year I felt like I did back in my 20s.
So some of the guys are giving you a hard time because you're a little older, but feeling like you're back in your 20s, the body's in great shape, but your mind, I touted so often about your ability to keep the mind working just how you need it for each match.
Correct. I'm literally twice as old as a lot of the competitors here, and coming into it, I don't have the pressure anymore. It's something that's an internal drive now. I don't have anybody else I have to impress besides myself and my family, my reputation and my family, so that's what I'm going out there doing. I'm having a great time doing it.
Well, it's a great way to show it. John, back up to you with our two champions here at Onalaska.
All right, John, thank you very much. Three Rivers Roleo. I want to thank you for joining us today. Our executive producer, director, Jess Eichhorst, promoter, Katie Rick. For John Hughes, I'm John Papadopoulos. This has been the Three Rivers Roleo on Fox Sports.